As many of us know, the northwest coast of Maui was impacted by a devastating wildfire this past August, so I want to start this video off by extending my most sincere condolences to the families and residents that were impacted by this tragedy. So I received this email from United saying that I could get a round-trip flight to Maui for $11.20 plus 30,000 mile points, and I was all in. And it was for a good cause as a way to stimulate tourism back to Maui. So here I am in the United Air Club getting some breakfast. I had an early flight, like at 6 a.m., so I just chilled in the lounge until it was time to head to my flight. I had a layover in Denver, and I met up with some family for the rest of the flight from Denver to Maui.
Cassie, how was your flight? Too long, but we get it. Yeah, I'm David. Let me zoom out. How was your flight?
That flight from Indy to Denver, that was terrible.
Say again?
That flight from Indy to Denver was terrible. This one, man, it was long. I've not been through.
Okay. Nice. How was your flight? Very long. But I'm happy we're here. You happy we're here?
She didn't have the phone. She get on the Wi-Fi.
That's not what we're talking about.
We made it.
We picked up a rental from Allsave car rental next to the airport. They had a shuttle that come and get you. Then we headed to the Airbnb, got checked in. It was kind of small, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, but it was beautiful, very modern with nice balconies at each room. Beautiful pool, a yoga studio, beautiful landscape. So I would highly recommend this, but just note that it's kind of small if it's more than 3 or 4 people. This is the pool. We went poolside. Jessica thinks she a model. The pool was beautiful. We swam, we sunbathed. I knew from the get-go I wasn't getting in. I got a nice little tan before I jumped in the pool. This girl really thought she was shooting a commercial or something.
Wait. Let's go. I ain't trying to get my hair. 1, 2, 3. It is still cold.
Now we catching a tan poolside, listening to the music, and Jessica is still being extra. Our pool day was lovely. Our Airbnb was close to everything. We stayed in Kihei, which is southwest Maui. So night 1, we went to a nearby restaurant called Ohana's Seafood Bar and Grill. We went there just because they had live music, but the food was terrible. So I would not recommend going there, but we still had a good time listening to the live music. Day 2 started off with the impromptu photo shoot. Photo credit to Jessica. Then we were off to breakfast. I had the Asia bowl. All the food there was
We're
really
going to
good.
try a chili pepper that the owner of the restaurant just told us to be careful about trying because it's so hot.
Season on. Here we go. I like heat to it, but it's cool.
Right.
You have some kick to it, but it's cool.
The eyes watering and stuff. Don't touch your ass with your fingers.
Man, like, yeah, I'm glad it doesn't get to it.
Those things like his eyes watering and stuff. Trying to be so.
It's cool.
It's cool.
Man, he did it. He's on fire right now.
It feels that way.
That's gonna make it hotter. He needs some milk.
After breakfast, we started on the road to Hana. It's an excursion because it's about a 2.5-hour drive from Kihei, and along the road, there's all kind of sightseeing things. A lot of people just pull over, look at the mountains, look at the ocean, look at the landscape. There's like different cliffs where you can go and see a scenic view. This is us at a waterfall. There's waterfalls all along the route. We stopped to go get closer looks at the waterfall. I'm trying to get as close as possible for a picture, but those rocks move and they hurt your feet. So I'm like trying not to break my ankle and get a picture. I didn't get the picture, but I got this little video clip, so that's good enough. Child, let me get from over here. We went hiking through this jungle, rainforest, whatever you want to call it. Naya was not too amused by this stop.
She said she's feeling great.
Really? Like really great or great?
Both. We took some more pictures, of course, and then we got back on the road, heading to Hana. The road to Hana is very narrow and it winds through the mountains. I don't know why anyone would bike that because it's dangerous enough to drive it. That is a cliff to the left, and if you go overboard, that will not be good for you because we are pretty elevated on the mountain at this point. There was a souvenir shop that had t-shirts that said, "I survived the road to Hana," just to give you a little insight. The bridges on this road are so narrow that only one car can fit across at a time. And this is a two-way. There's all kind of hidden caves along the way. We stopped at one. We saw some people coming out of it.
David, just go right here. Come on. You gotta at least see it a little bit. Just go in there. And
I tried to convince Jessica to go in. She wasn't going, and I definitely wasn't going.
I ain't wanted to.
Yep, you guessed it. Back in the car we went, still on the road to Hana. I told you it was like a 2.5-hour drive each way. Very beautiful scenic nature. There's also a black sand beach that you can stop at and look at, but you have to have a reservation. The adventure that you experience on the road to Hana is the highlight. Once you get to Hana, there's not much to do there. It's a rural residential community, so you get back in the car and head back. My niece and I started our day off with some superfoods. We had super greens.
Okay, Elaine is finishing her super greens.
That superfood apparently kicked in right away because next thing I know, she got my phone doing fashion show model walks through the living room. And if you know me, you know fashion and runway is right up my alley, so you know I had to hype her up. That afternoon, we all got dressed up to head to a luau. The luau was at the Marriott Resort in Wailea, and that resort was breathtaking. I greatly enjoyed my first luau.
Have the hand front then for the presentation of the
The next morning, we went to Wailea for breakfast, and we stopped by this art gallery, stumbled across, had some really cool pieces in there, and we had the opportunity to meet the artist, one of the artists. We didn't buy anything because the cheapest price tag we saw was $19,000. From there, we headed to the beach back in Kihei. Later that night, we went back to Lahaina to a very nice restaurant called Merriman Kapalua for my brother's birthday. The food was amazing, great experience. Then we went and got some shaved ice. It's supposed to be the best Hawaiian ice in the area. Heading to a whale watching tour that we got off of Via Tour. We love Via Tour for excursions. The whale watching tour was amazing. We didn't see many whales. We saw one calf breach right there, a small baby calf. He breached out the water. That was about the highlight of it, but it was so beautiful out there. We had a great time. When we got off the boat, we were right next to a Louis Vuitton store, so Jessica drugged me in to do a little bit of shopping, and we made a few purchases, got out of there, and then it was time to head to the airport to come back home. Me back in Chicago, home sweet home.